From dating to relationships, from sex to love, from Christianity to politics, from darkness to light, you have now entered into the real zone. Welcome to Conversations with Trent, where no topic of conversation is safe from discussion. Now, here he is, Mr. Epic himself, Trent Williams.
What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another conversation with Trent and his wonderful friends. Been off a couple of weeks, had a couple of things going on this end as far as this recovery goes. Been tough. Last couple of weeks has been tough. So let's get the ladies in. We talk about some things and get it going. I know they had some things going on as well, so it's been tough. But anyway, let's get to it. One sec. Hello.
Hey there.
What's going on?
Hello. If you don't get that little gumbo sign off me. Oh, okay, never mind. There we go. Sorry.
There you go.
I know. I was just like, I hate that little thing.
That's all good. We'll switch it up. What's going on? Before I get started here, I want to make a public apology to one of our viewers and the listeners, Gordon from New York. He called me out. He called me out on a previous podcast that we had, where Ursula and I had a heated exchange about me apologizing to, quote unquote, as I said, the get-arounds. And it wasn't right. It wasn't right for me to say it that way. And I suggested that if they wanted a public apology, pick up a book. I was very insensitive. Once I had a conversation with him and thought about it, very insensitive on my part. And we live on transparency and honesty on the conversation. So we not only hold ourselves accountable, but the things that come out of our mouths, each of us. So Gordon from Brooklyn, my apologies, sir, along with the listeners, because I was reminded actually when I was talking to him. I was talking to his mom, to be honest with you. This microphone holds a weight, a big weight. And, we have to be mindful when we talk. So remember, I've been doing this for over 20 years and I knew better. But the conversation got heated and, hey, that's what it was. And, I got to hold myself accountable. So good stuff, man. Gordon, I appreciate you. Thank you for calling me out to the carpet. And as I said, I would make a public apology. So appreciate you for tuning in, as always. Okay. What's going on, ladies? What's going on?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
How's little man, Dee? I know we had a tragic situation in the last couple of weeks.
Zay lost his kitten from FIP. So the breeder is very upset. Xavier's upset, but Monty's come home to us now, so he's in a place of honor. We'll get a new kitten in a few months when Xavier's ready. He's already started to pick out names, and just like kids don't have the same heaviness with death.
Right.
After they understand it's a cycle, so they don't cling to it like we do. So he'll be moving on, but I got some hate mail for you, sir.
I'm more for sure. Yeah. Let's get this. Get 1 second and get to the hate mail. Also, Kobe lost his big sister.
A
few days ago. Yeah. So
like been a whole lot of dead pets lately.
Yeah. So Shannon lost her baby, one of her babies. So that's Kobe's big sister. lost
Oh,
her. So
that's sad. I'm sorry to hear that. Those little
Thank you.
fur creatures weasel their ways into our hearts quickly, and you know,
I
it's
did, and
heartbreaking when it happens anyway.
I did not expect that, Coach D. I did not. Like, I have had moments where I have been like boo-hooing, like a real human being passed or something.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
Like
I sat there.
it was very.
Oh yeah, I came up to work, and normally Monty would come in, and I'm like, man, I don't have a coworker anymore, because he
yeah.
would like come and sit on the
Mm,
rug and hang out with me.
oh,
So
yeah.
it is tough, but it teaches us empathy. It teaches kids empathy and compassion,
Mm-hmm.
taking care of another living creature. So he may
Yeah,
have been with us for a very short time, but he left a lot of lessons. So
right.
we are
Because
grateful for the time that
I
we got to
felt
see him.
I felt so bad. I've been under the weather with this frozen shoulder, in and out of the outpatient, getting ultrasounds and all that stuff. So when I talked to you, yeah, you told me about Monty. Then, like literally about a week, not even a
Yeah.
week, Shannon called me about Precious. I'm like, what? I felt so bad. I took Kobe
Yeah.
to the store and bought him a shitload of toys, and
Aw. Aw.
Kobe's like, I'm sad too.
and I
Right.
was really sad because I was like, well, damn, how am I gonna break this to Kobe? Because Kobe grew up with this chick.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yes. Yeah.
damn.
She was there when I brought Kobe home. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. There are people who don't have pets don't understand the connection,
Yeah.
right? I firmly believe pets are a connection to the spiritual world.
I told
Hmm.
Is they will protect you when you don't know that you need protecting. Like when I had we had gotten Monty just before I had my dental surgery.
right.
When I came home from my dental surgery, he crawled up and laid underneath my neck and purred.
Aw.
And cats have a purring vibration. It helps you heal because that's how they help heal each other.
I told
And
him
Really?
Alvin
love bugs.
Gentle Giant likes to think that Kobe came back in the form of Greg.
Aw.
Oh.
He really think that Greg is inside
Aw.
Kobe.
You know what?
Because
Anything
Kobe's
is possible
so protected.
because we're energy, and then energy is always constant.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
whatever your beliefs are, we're still energy. We're
Absolutely.
positive, negative neurons. Anyway,
Exactly.
so let me get to the hate mail.
Get today to it.
So,
Go
so
ahead.
you said, I don't know, it was last week, you could do the podcast without us. I had like 3 letters. D, if he can do the podcast without you, you tell him if the ladies leave, we leave.
I told you.
That was pretty much the gist of the 3 of them. We're like, no, he can't do the podcast without y'all. Whether he likes it or not.
With this condition of mine, I really appreciate it. So yeah, good stuff.
So people are paying attention to what you say.
Oh my God, not the condition again.
People.
You want to talk about conditions? Can we talk about Jamie Foxx for a minute?
No, what happened?
So let's talk about Jamie Foxx and his minor health condition that had him in a coma for 3 weeks. What minor health condition put you in a coma for 3 weeks? Why in our community we can't tell the truth when people are sick?
Yeah, it was a stroke.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Don't say you don't have to. I know HIPAA laws and everything, but you don't have to give all your business out. But don't downplay a 3-week coma as a minor health condition.
Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, as a stroke survivor and a bleed on the brain, that is not a minor thing. Yeah. That is not a minor thing at all.
And you can tell his voice is completely different now.
It is.
I'm like, yeah, because he had to learn how to talk again.
And for the hate mail, I got to tell you guys, and like these ladies know that, like they really assist me on this podcast because certain things I can't do, and they really assist me. So I do it in fun. I just be kidding. Sometimes I say things that I shouldn't say, but hey, it is. But it's all good. All good. Let's get to this topic real quick. And actually, this topic is.
Let's greet the people first. Can we greet the people first? You be forgetting that there's people that are actually on here commenting.
You see the condition? Thank you, Shannon. Go ahead.
Yeah. So good evening, Mark. Thank you. He said grand rising melanated people and greetings from Princess Coach Dee, Charlie, aka Shanna Bright, and you too, Urs. And good and gentle giant, welcome aboard. I don't know what that means.
What up,
Like, why
Val?
he say YouTube? What is that? The petty shade starting early tonight, Mark?
You know, Mark. You know, Mark.
I don't know.
You
But
know.
anyway, go ahead with your
How you-
topics.
So, well, first of all, how you doing, Ernst? I don't want you to think I'm flying over everything.
Oh no, I'm great. It's
good?
the Saints won, and it's all good. It's all
Okay,
good.
let's move on.
It's all good. It's all good.
Let's
It's
move
a
on.
good day when the Saints win.
Let's
Huh?
move along.
It's
'cause
all good. It's all good.
We got
It's
a
all
Saints
good.
fan in that comment section too. So let's move along. Let's move along. Nah, so we're talking about heart versus ego. Choosing between true love and self-gratification. Actually, that's another topic coming from Coach Dee. Got me to thinking, right? Me thinking about, self-gratification, all that good stuff and whatnot. For me personally, I would prefer the person of interest to tell me the complete truth, to not feed the ego. I got enough of it. Not feed the ego. Don't do that. But tell me exactly what's on your mind. Tell me, be completely transparent. Don't fluff it up for me. But I totally get it. Heart versus ego. I'd rather true love. Love is going to tell you the truth, in my opinion, whether we like it or not. They don't give us the ugly truth, in my opinion. So, I think the topic that Dee was talking about was kind of tipping the scale onto the men, and we generalize here on the conversation. So I kind of put it between, the sexes as far as feeding the ego, because sometimes women love to be fed. Oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. I can tell you 1,000 things and I mean it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
So what did you find this at, Coach D? This is a good one. It's going to be a nice spicy one.
Yeah, I even aside. Yeah, give us the background on it, and don't worry about the whole generalization thing. Even if it's swayed toward the men, that's fine, because we've done shows where it's about the women and it's about the men. We bring
But that
balance.
pendulum gonna go back though. That
I
pendulum
know,
gonna go
but
back.
I just want to know where, because I think you're what you wrote up may have changed a little bit from what Coach Dee initially spoke. So that's why I want to get the
I was
background.
left unsupervised. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm
Well,
sorry.
it won't happen anymore. This is your notice.
Yeah, we're not your mama.
Hey,
You
dude.
gotta
Hey,
take care of
hey, hey.
yourself. You gotta take care of yourself.
Knock it
Oh
off.
wow! So that happening already.
You see that? Huh?
Always, it's the holiday season.
The stuff that I have to go through in this condition.
Anyway.
Go ahead.
It's a lot happening already.
Listen, I'm a disabled vet. Stop. You can stop with the condition, sir. So, so it actually came from a comment I had made. A reader had sent it to me. A listener, I should say, not a reader. A listener had sent it to me. They saw something on Instagram, and it reminded them something I had said about. Remember, I'd mentioned going to the ambassador's party with a date, and he was upset that I spoke French to the French ambassador and German to the German ambassador.
Yeah. I remember.
So that's where he comes. He goes, oh, so he wanted you to look good for his ego, but not take the spotlight away from him. And I was like, ooh. And then they saw something on Instagram about the exact topic. Are you loving them from themselves, or is it for your ego? I was like, well, we got to do that because that sounds interesting.
Exactly. Nice.
So would that fall along?
What?
I was going to say, does that, I mean to cut you out, does that fall along the lines of, in that situation, like of being arm candy?
Yeah.
Or is it a little bit deeper than that, or a little bit more than that?
It was more than that. It was about making him look legitimate.
Okay.
Right? Because I was university educated, well-spoken, well-rounded, spoke multiple language. And he was a boy from the hood who did well.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm available for all Christmas parties. I'm not. If you need some orange candy, holler at me.
So we here.
Need some orange candy, holler at me. So I come out and be the orange candy for the night.
Yeah, I prefer younger arm candy. Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't think it has anything to do so much with arm candy. Ego and arm candy is totally kind of different things. Because ego is like everyone has an ego. Just gonna tell you, the ego makes up your character. It's who you are. Some people ego gets really big, and that's when you like get too big for your britches, as people would say. But we all have egos. Egos kind of make up your character. And honestly, we have to be, men are turned on by what they see. Women are turned on by what they hear. And that feeds the ego, for real.
Oh, somebody's been researching the topic. I feel okay. Let me get some of this ginger tea right here real quick.
Yeah.
And you're right. And if you ever hear somebody say they don't have an ego, run in the opposite direction. Because there's these enlightened folks who think that not having ego means that they're better than everybody else. Ego is part of who we are. We all have it. It's a matter of how you control your ego, how you walk through the world with your ego.
Absolutely.
And I like to say, this was years ago. This is after, I think it was in Chicago where I was speaking, and somebody made mention of my ego, right? And I told that person that it's a fine line. It's a fine line. We got to be careful. But for me, I look at it as confidence. Some people may look at, they're different perspectives on that. Some people look at it as ego, but I look at it as confidence.
Yeah, there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, though.
I agree. I agree. It's a fine line. Like I told her, it's a very fine line. And sometimes I've gotten myself in trouble going the other way,
Sometimes.
Do men like their egos fed, even though they're turned on by what they see? Do men like?
I'm gonna say yeah. The average man, yes.
Yes, I think so.
The average man.
I believe that, and I do think that sometimes, and there's a such thing as feeding the ego, and there's another thing as stroking a person's ego. Yeah. And I think sometimes when we get caught up in this this player, or like the multiple people we seeing, now your ego begins to get stroked, and it kind of causes you to get a little bit too big for your britches, as we would say. So you gotta kind of always be cognizant of yourself, and
fine line,
yeah, that's where the fine line comes.
And be honest with you, like in my past, I never gave them a chance to feed my ego because I was always feeding myself. And you got to be careful with that, man, because that could be quite dangerous.
Well, I'm sure I'm sure some did feed your ego. I'm almost 1,000%, which only goes up to 100. I'm sure that you've had your ego fed a lot. Having been in LA, I think it's a different type of dosage of egos being fed when you come back south. It's like,
yeah, it's different. Different. But we got to be careful with that, guys and women.
Yeah.
When people are, pushing that flattery button, we got to be careful with that. Because I abused it back in the day. I would abuse it, seriously abuse it.
Yeah, I sort of kind of somewhere in my head, I believe that there is a such thing as what's the word I'm looking for? Understanding somebody's love language. And especially if it's somebody that you're tuned into, and just more than just a spiritual way. But if you tuned into them, just you're into that person. That's why it's kind of hard to when you're trying to see different people, and you can't really dive into all those different spirits. Although that's what some of us try to do. You can't do it. You know what I'm saying? You have to be really careful. It's a fine line, even when you're stroking or feeding someone's ego, or even when you're having your ego fed or stroked. You got to be very mindful, because spirit, that there's a spiritual thing that comes up. You know what I'm saying? And that's what stalking and everything come from. But that's for another time. You got to be really mindful when you're but I think it's healthy to pour into a person and understanding love language. I do think that's helpful. I do.
Shannon?
No, actually, I was going to ask Coach Dee, because I was looking up the definition, right, of ego, and it does say that it's a person's identity of their self-importance, or how they see themselves. But it said that there's a psychological component of it as well. And so I was just going to ask you, Coach Dee, if you could elaborate on, saying the ego is the conscious, realistic part of the personality that balances primal urges with moral conscience. So, and that our ego is represented by our conscious decision-making process, and what that actually, like, what does that kind of mean in layman's term? How our ego feeds into our decision-making process.
Well, ego is built up of a lot of things, like your beliefs, like the things that you believe in, like whether you are lazy, whether you're determined, all the things that you've been told throughout your life are part of your ego, like your self-esteem, your confidence. All that stuff is part of your ego. So if you have somebody who has been mentally broken down over their lifetime or in a relationship, their ego is lowered, their self-esteem, their confidence.
Right.
All that stuff goes together. And so when you're making decisions, you make decisions based on your experiences and your perspectives and your values. So if your ego, if you've been told you're lazy all your life, you're not going to reach out on that little twig to go for that fruit at the end of the thing, that job that you think you can do, but in the back of your head, you're lazy, you're no good, you're incompetent. Right? Ego holds people back just as much as it pushes people forward.
Yeah, I believe that.
So I got a question for you.
That's why you're most comfortable. That's why people stay in their comfortable spot.
Exactly. I got a question for you guys. Completely honest answers here. So would you rather a man tell you what you need to hear or what you want to hear?
Define what he's saying by need to want. Because who is he to determine what I need to hear?
I knew you were gonna say that. That's why I posed that question. So
you know what you need to hear, though. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you know what you need to hear? Do you?
No, but my point is, who is it somebody else to determine what you need to hear? That's what I'm saying.
Let's just say we're having a transparent conversation, right? And you know damn well what you need to hear, but you walking away from that. You know what you should be telling yourself, but you're walking away from it. You stand away from that conversation that even trigger that thought. You see what I'm saying? And if I'm your friend, if I'm your true friend, I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
So somebody who avoids having difficult conversations.
There you go.
Okay, that's different than need to hear, because there's people who think they know what people need to hear and they don't know nothing about what people need to hear. So we got
how many times over all these years have you told me what I need to hear? I said that for a reason. Go ahead.
No, I told you what has been helpful. I've never once thought you needed to hear it. I thought it would be something that would be helpful for you to hear.
Every time you've done that, no matter where it was, no matter where we were, I'd say to myself, I was like, damn, I really needed that. I really need to hear that.
Yeah, but I don't look at it as telling something they need to hear. It's giving helpful information.
I'm gonna go on the toxic end of that, because I tell him what I think he needs to hear. Yeah, that's that may be the toxic side, but
Yeah, you did it 30 minutes ago.
But that's just different communication styles, right? How we think, like how our ego looks at things differently. That's all.
Yeah, I think she tries to cater more to that person's love language, like what builds them up, because you kind of do need to build people up a little bit.
I noticed that the ladies at the bottom didn't answer the question. I'm trying to figure this out.
What about? I don't care. I mean, I'm all for you being transparent and telling me what you may think in this sense, what needs to be said. Having those tough or difficult conversations. I'm like that with my friends. I'm like, now whether we heed that advice or I heed that advice or whatnot is something.
Boy, I tell you, this friendship has progressed over the years. What has been like? What, almost 4 years? It's progressed over the years.
Yeah,
I like Shann. I do. I told you that from jump.
I like me. Yeah. I like me too. Shoot.
Yeah. I love Dee. I love both of the ladies.
So these friendships have progressed over the years, because Ursh used to hang up in my face every time I told her the truth.
Hey, so if you want to go there, we can. You straight up hated on my relationship.
Hold the line. Hold the line. Hold on. I need to refill. Hold the line. Okay.
You straight up hated on my. And look. You straight up hated on my relationship. You did.
Now, I'm so glad we have a very professional coach in here who happens to be a very, very dear friend of well over some years. Everybody knows who's about the podcast. That friendship goes a long way. So, is that hating, Dee, if I'm telling her the truth about the situation?
It depends on what your motivations and intentions were.
Thank you.
So it could very well be hating, depending on what those motivation and intentions were. Right?
So moving along.
I don't know. Is it what he was saying, Ursula, or was it his delivery? Because he has horrible delivery at times.
All of the above. All the above. All the bubbles are checked. Yes, all the bubbles are bubbled.
What was he saying? I'm curious. Just out of curiosity.
Your time. That's not going anywhere. You never really probably experienced the real man. Maybe we should go out. You know
what?
This is a good show tonight.
/ you were absolutely correct about each lady on here tonight. He sent me a message as I sent him the topic for tonight.
And so yeah, it was some of both. And you know, maybe there was a time where I might have considered it, but
consider what?
Going out. But then when all of these different, when you would bring all those different girls around, I was like, you can't be serious about me. And then I started thinking about what I was seeing coming around, and I was like, nah, ain't gonna work.
Mm-mm. Then wait, when was this?
This was years ago. This was years ago.
The views of Ursula Johnson does not reflect conversation with Trent nor myself. But go ahead, continue.
No. This really happened.
Ursula was keeping the game and wasn't in for it. That's all.
And so I'm not gonna go out and say everything about the girl that he brought around and make him feel bad about that tonight. But you know, I had several guy friends, and one that I really was crazy about, and that's the person he would like really take the biggest dump on. And so, you know, it even created problems for me with that relationship, you know, because he would say stuff, you know, like, Urs, you're wasting your time. You're such a this and a that and a, why are you wasting your time? And I was like, but you know, honestly, that probably where I was at the time, you know, and that's what worked for me, you know, and so that's all I got. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That's where I was. I'm happy for growth, but I'm also great. I'm happy. I'm excited that I've learned so much, you know. So that's just, yeah.
It doesn't sound like his intentions were pure with those comments, though.
Right. That's what I was about to say.
There was some motivation behind that.
Yes.
They weren't. And even sometime now we'll talk about different things, and I'm like, you know, I gotta tread lightly, you know, because I tread lightly with what we discuss sometime, because I've never been in that situation with him. And because I don't know him in a relationship, sometimes I think that he is like, you know, you've not allowed me into your life like that. So I'm always going to come from a place of not being allowed into your life, in a sense, you know?
Are we talking about me or talking about something else?
We're talking about you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Moving along. We got comments.
I will tell him all about himself for you. Don't you worry.
Yes.
So thank you, Dee.
Mark has, your friend Mark has two comments. The first one was, ego is the part of the mind that mediates between the conscious and the unconscious, and is responsible for reality testing and a sense of personal identity. He also said, true love signifies a deep, selfless connection with another person, prioritizing their happiness and well-being above your own, while self-gratification refers to prioritizing your own pleasure.
Can you read that again, please?
That last one?
True love.
True love signifies a deep, selfless connection with another person, prioritizing their happiness and well-being above your own, while self-gratification refers to prioritizing your own pleasures.
Let me go out here and say that first part, the true love part. I wonder how many people honestly really do lead in relationships like that. Because that does involve, in a sense, feeding somebody's love language or their ego or stroking them in some sense. And let's be honest. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be vulnerable for a minute and say something that my sister told me this week. She said, I wanted to say this to you. She just said it though. She said, you get bored easy. That's what she said. She said, you get bored easy. And so let me tell you why I'm saying that, because that has to do with why, like, I probably do get bored. But if you're not feeding into me, I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna eat.
Which
everybody does.
Feeding
and
what?
That's just
feeding what?
So when you are dating somebody, you kind of are whatever. If you're shown interest in somebody, you kind of, in some sense, you have to water the plant. If you don't water the plant, it's not going to grow. If you don't feed your relationship, your relationship can be compared to having a green thumb or a plant. If you don't water it, it's not going to grow. And so that's just how it is. And that's why I get bored, because I feel unwatered. And the thing about it
is it safe to say that you're speaking on feeding the part of the ego as well? That's what you're saying?
In a sense, it could be. Yes. It could somewhat align with that. Yes. Yes. Definitely.
Even if it's not true?
Huh?
You still take it? Like if I'm feeding something to you and you perceive it as me feeding your ego, but I'm being dishonest with you.
I mean, this is how I feel. Only the two people who are so involved really understand what goes on with that. Like the pillow talk. You know what I mean? Okay. Right? And so even if for a minute it's probably, even if it's not true, for a minute, if it sounds good, it's true, right? Right?
What's your thoughts on that, Dee?
I'm a firm believer that you should feed your own ego. And if you're feeding your ego properly, no matter what anybody says to you, it's not really going to affect you, because your ego is secure in what you're giving it. Absolutely. Because what happens is if you're getting external validation for your ego from elsewhere, then there's something missing. There's something that's not that needs to be fixed. There's a void somewhere.
Coach Dee, I heard something that I didn't think about before that really aligns with what you just said. Because it's how, and I'm sure we probably all grew up with telling our kids we're so proud of them, right? When they make it, when they have certain achievements and things of that nature. But in essence, we should be telling them you should be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
When they achieve, when they hit certain milestones or make certain achievements. So I think that kind of that aligns and really validates what you just said too, or what you said validates that.
Yeah, that's what I ask. Xavier has been on honor roll since he was in kindergarten, and when his report card comes in, I ask him, "How do you did?" He goes, "I did the best I can." I'm like, "And do you look at the numbers? What does that say?" He goes, "Well, I did great." Are you proud of yourself? Yeah. So you know what? And here's the thing: our egos are fragile, right? If you're allowing somebody to feed into you, you have to be very careful about what you're being fed. Right. Because if you're not secure in yourself, you could very easily have your ego fed the wrong stuff, and that will break you down versus building you up.
Let me give a teachable moment in the middle of the show before I get it. What you just said, Dee, I just thought about something, right? When I was told, when I was placed in that bedridden state, in that wheelchair, that was going to be very difficult for me to do certain things. And as you know, I don't like to be told that. And I never saw myself in that wheelchair. I never saw what they were trying to feed me. That's why I went so hard.
Yeah.
I never saw that. And then think about it. If I was that fragile mentally, I would have just accept what they said and just took that wheelchair and that walker and let them wheel me onto the house.
Yeah.
But that's just not the way my mindset is set up. And I totally agree with you, Dee. Like, if you're allowing somebody to feed you something, they're crippling you at the same time.
I want to say that when I said that, I want to go on record saying it has a lot to do with that. I'm talking directly about intimacy. When you're intimate with somebody and you're sharing in that way,
Okay.
sharing yourself.
Okay,
You
I
know,
got you. Yeah.
yeah, that it's important to make sure you all are, watering each other. And I think that's how the relationship has the ambition. It's an ambitious
Well,
relationship. You want to grow.
let's put Urs on the hot seat tonight. So
Yeah.
since the hot seat is, I'm exempt on the hot seat tonight because I got frozen shoulder.
Yeah.
So what is a
Yeah.
Shannon? I do have frozen shoulder now. Come on, you know, I've been to the hospital how many times this week? So Shannon's on that other stuff.
Did you try acupuncture yet? Or cupping?
I made a call, got an appointment.
Well, making a call don't mean you tried it.
I got an appointment.
Okay.
I told you I was going to call him. I got an appointment.
Right.
It's that condition, D, that he doesn't know the difference between trying it and making a call.
Now, I actually made that call the day she told me. The next day I made the call. I got an appointment in Metairie. Yeah. So what does boring look like? Like for your sister to identify that and you see it. Like what does boring look like when you get bored? What does that look like?
Yeah, what does that look like? Because I kind of think we may align there a little bit, Ursula. So yeah, what does it look like for you?
I don't know. I have a good friend. She would tell she knew of a situation where there was somebody I might have been a little bit interested in, and we was talking to a young man about the guy, and he was like, "Oh, because I'm gonna put a word in for your Earth," and she told him, "Don't put a word in for Earth because she gonna do him like she do all them other shoes in her closet. She gonna."
Was that Chantel that said that to you?
No, it wasn't.
That's not a friend, love. That's not a friend.
It is. It is. I mean, who knows you best but your friends? So, and the truth is, it's messed up. But I have a tendency. I don't know. I do get bored. I do.
This is getting juicy.
And if you remember,
I see Coach Dee smiling there, and I just kind of want to know what that smile is.
Because we've talked, Trent has had an opportunity to talk to my little sister a little bit too, and
yeah,
you gotta be mindful with her.
Highly intelligent.
You know,
First,
you gotta,
darling, you're not bored. You have an avoidant style.
It's not avoiding. It's not, babe. It's
me and Trent have talked about this before multiple times.
It's not. I promise you on everything.
You check all the boxes for avoidance.
Okay, Coach Dee, go back over what avoidance style is. Go back over that again. What are those characteristics?
Why is he pulling up? Let me say that. Earth, Coach Dee and I have talked about you in that same situation you're talking about. As far as you getting bored, we talked about this. We talked about it.
I get bored. I totally get bored because I was talking to her this weekend about something, and I was like, yeah, and blase. And she was like, well, what about this and this? And I was like, yeah,
But
I don't know.
What Coach Dee told you, that's what she told me once. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like she and I talk about the podcast after. She said, what's your thoughts on such and such, or whatever. If it's on me or Shannon or you, she'll share her thoughts.
If we're talking about the same guy,
flag on the field, because we got comments. Flag on the field. Hold those thoughts for a moment, please, because Mark has been very active, and I don't want any hate mail from him. So I'm going to go back and start from his the true love, because he has a continuation on the true love comment.
Okay,
true love signifies a deep, selfless connection with another person, prioritizing their happiness and well-being above your own, while self-gratification refers to prioritizing your own pleasure, and often at the expense of others. Essentially, true love is the opposite of self-gratification, as it requires putting another person's needs first and focusing on mutual fulfillment in a relationship. And then he asked the question, has the panel chose between true love and self-gratification in their own lives? I don't know what you mean. What do you mean if we've chosen?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and answer that. In my my first marriage, I chose self-gratification.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
I chose self-gratification. I did. Gotta be honest. What's the second part? He looked like he's addressing hers.
Did he put another comment in there? He said, so Earth is bringing in 2025 with blonde ambition, huh?
This had been my hair color for a long time. I just be wearing my twists and I had to give it a break.
I was about to say, I thought your hair had always been that color.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you ladies, man. You ladies get heavy mail. Y'all get heavy mail.
Oh, we are. I don't know that. I don't know that we get heavy mail.
But you can do the show without us, right? Think again, sir.
Again, like I said, I was only joking.
I know you are. I know you have realized the errors of your way.
Nah, because y'all attract all the viewers.
Of course we do. Because men are visual. Because men are visual creatures.
They really are. They really are. They are.
Exactly.
Men are turned on by what they see, and women are turned on by what the ego hears.
There it
all right, Coach Dee, you got your notes?
Looking and playing.
Still looking?
No, I have them.
Okay, avoidance. Let's go.
So avoidant is people with this style value independence and may feel uncomfortable with deep emotional connections. They may prefer solitude or shallow relationships. So this is where boredom comes in. Because boredom is, don't be looking at me like that. Because what happens with boredom is, in order to get past the shallowness, you have to get into deeper relationships. You don't get bored when you're moving into deeper relationships.
One more time for the people
avoiding that.
Okay, go ahead. I like it. This is
shallow relationship.
This is good stuff.
Because it's an insecure attachment. So we have to figure out what's the insecure attachment, where it's coming from, so that you can move on to it and become a securely attached person. And then you're not avoiding. You don't get bored.
Well, let me tell you. Let me just tell you. Let me tell you. This is great. I'm gonna go head on and be vulnerable again. For the second time tonight, or maybe the second and a half time.
Earth, give me some good tape to cut later. Give me some good tape.
I'm gonna be a little vulnerable again. So I've been married before, and my husband poured into me, in all ways. I chose to leave the marriage because I didn't think it was healthy for both me and my child to stay in a situation where when we had arguments, they led into physical altercations. Now, I didn't say I got beat up. I said they led into physical altercations. And I wanted to raise a healthy Black man who didn't think that it was okay to either put his hands on who would know it's not okay. You don't hit a woman, and if a woman hits you, you need to know how to dismantle an argument before it gets to physicalities. Outside of that, and it wasn't every day, it wasn't every other day. It just, when it did happen, it was bad. And I just didn't want to raise a man in that environment. But my husband hit all the marks. And had he not been physical, I would still be there. I was just sharing with someone this afternoon. If I said I was going out with the girls or whatever, he didn't say what time you're going to be back. I think I want this kind of car. He said, no, you're getting that kind of car. And it's not even about, like, if I talked about the material things, but the material stuff is way at the bottom. When we looked at houses, he was like, I think this, you could have this in a house. He was into me. And it's so crazy because even on our final months together, I started going out. I wasn't always doing the right thing. And, but I told him we hadn't been intimate in years, and he had moved into another room. And even in that place, he still purchased gifts. He was trying to, like, I hope she doesn't go, and that's just one part. That's one part of it. Now move from that and move into the relationship that Trent hated. That relationship didn't feed the house and a car and let me get this or let's do that together or out to dinner. It fed me in a different way.
And for the record, I have to
hold on, Trent. Let her finish.
I finish.
Go ahead.
It fed me in a way that my husband and I relationship didn't feed me. Now, I'm gonna just unpack that a little bit. My husband thought I was Cinderella. And he had me on a pedestal. And certain things that I ain't know I had liked, The other person showed me, you're going to love this. And I was like, I really do. I do. But I was a little girl when I was a young woman, and I hadn't had a whole lot of experience, humada intimacy before I met my husband at all.
So you didn't know what you didn't know.
I ain't know. I ain't had no. But then 14 years had said, this all of the stuff you ain't know. And I was like, I don't want to know none of that stuff, because I had really liked it, this kind of stuff. So let me just say this. To line all of that together, I know what it takes to make me happy. So I don't have intimate, and I know what I bring to a relationship. So I just feel like, until all of that come together, the beat up and did I say that? Yeah, the beat up and the stuff. Lord, I just go chill.
Fix it, Jesus.
Coach Dee, before you respond to what I want to say,
and I didn't say that.
Before you respond to that, Coach Dee, I want to say, and as I said in the opening of the podcast, this microphone carries a ton of weight and a ton of responsibility. I happen to know Ursula's ex. I know him. I grew up with him. Always been a great guy to me.
Great guy.
They're always great guys to the men.
No, listen.
We grew up together. I know him.
Right, I know but him. I'm just saying we don't know other people in relationships. Like I can say that.
I'm not talking about the relationship. I'm just saying that I know him as a great guy.
Right, he's a great guy too.
I get that, but I'm just saying we don't know how people are in relationships.
I'm not talking about
I'm not hold on, sir. I'm not saying that to dispute what you're saying. I'm just saying that in general. Like I know my girlfriends, especially ones that are single, can say, "Oh yeah, she's a great person," but I don't know what she's like when she's with a man. I know what she's like when we out hanging out and we doing our girl stuff, but I don't know what she's like when she's with a man, when she's in a relationship. Neither do they know with me, and I'm only going to get a one-sided story from them,
right?
Of experience, just the same as they would get from me. So that's all. But hold on, we've got a couple of comments. So Ursula, Kina, thanks for joining in. She says she loves your hair, and she says she's setting you up. Trust her on this one. So Mark said, being that Feliz Año Nuevo, does anyone believe in Feliz the New Year? He says, does anyone believe in New Year's kiss? I have no idea what that means, Mark. We're not even going to acknowledge that at this point in time. It has nothing to do with this dialogue. And he says, this is the real world confessional part of the show, eating popcorn like Michael in the Thriller video. Now, there you go. That has something to do with the show.
Let me just, I'm sorry, Dee, I want you to say something, but I just want to say, and when it came down to, I'm gonna be honest, I hate that I'm putting him out there like that, because he's a really great guy. And so I hope anybody who ever hears this, they don't misconstrue this or take it the wrong way. He just was when he met me, I hadn't had a whole lot of intimate experiences at all. I was really like the B word, I'm gonna just say I was a virgin. And so, he handled me so delicately, it wasn't even funny. And that's just the truth. Like, I didn't know anything about anything until like maybe really like 37, 38 years old. So
let's take that iron off the fire and let's see what our Coach Dee has to say.
Yeah.
I don't know this man from anywhere, but the description you gave was a trauma bond. That wasn't a healthy, it was a dysfunctional relationship. If somebody's telling you what you like, if there's arguments to the point where it's violent, it's love bombing. It's a circle. It's an abusive relationship, because they'll love bomb. There's an argument. Everything's back. Everything's good. Something else happens. It's a vicious circle.
Right.
Which, man, would lead to insecure attachments.
Well, so when so let's say I got married in 98. In 2008, I knew I was like, I think it was like 2006. We went to Disney. We brought my son to Disney World. And so, yeah, because it was after Katrina. So 2006, 2007, we brought my son to Disney World. We wasn't intimate. Like we was just good friends. And, you know, I hate that he sees me, will speak or whatever, but I hate that he just doesn't, the lady at the store was laughing. He just doesn't know how to be friends. And it's okay. It's okay.
Right.
He's really hurt. You know,
let's move the topic along real quick.
But wait, I want to say that I did my work. I said this ain't good for my son. I was okay. I'm okay. I'm great, actually.
Good stuff. Let's get to Mark's answer your question, Shannon.
Mark said a New Year's kiss is a tradition of kissing at midnight, welcoming the new year, and like we know what the New Year's it is. What does it have to do? What does it have to do with the topic that we're talking about? Is what I'm asking you, sir. I'm not slow. I know what a New Year's kiss is. We know you won't be getting one at the end of at that point in time because we know you. But what does it have to do with what we're talking about?
Hey, Porsche,
so make it make sense to me at this point.
I see your name there, Porsche. Thank you for tuning in.
Did he just try to come for me on the show?
Probably so.
I don't.
It's all good.
Well, Mark, I will tell you this: it comes from English and German folklore, and I am neither of them, so I don't worry about it.
Yellow.
Right. If you get a New Year's kiss, Mark, let us know. We'll talk about it then.
We got our goddess and goddesses, so you know.
Yeah. I was just so confused on that. Yeah. So the insecure attachment, though, so that is part of the avoidance. Someone who has an avoidance style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because remember, we have secure attachments, and then we have insecure attachments. So if you have if there's issues with your parents' relationships, whatever relationships you saw growing up or a relationship that you had earlier on can move you from a secure attachment to insecure attachment. Maybe there's a history of violence, a history of trauma. You've seen something. I have PTSD, so I have very insecure attachments. That's why I'm not with anybody right now.
So go ahead. I'm sorry, Coach Dee.
Yeah. So you have what it looks like, and it can be changed if there's reason behind it and you're doing your work, right? Like she said she was good. The description of the relationship that she had was not a good one. Have we talked about
the marriage? My marriage?
Yeah, like that description was not about a good relationship. It was a dysfunctional relationship.
My marriage?
Yes.
My marriage?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but like who knows anything about trauma? Who knows anything about therapy when you first get married at like 24, 25? You don't even know what you want.
Okay, I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell Trent. Stop strapping on shoes that nobody put on you.
I don't understand.
We're having a general conversation.
It's general. It's general.
Oh, okay.
General conversation today. When I say
it's not about me. That wasn't about me. I know. I thought that was about me. I had to tell somebody. I had to say that today to one of my girlfriends. I'm like, it ain't always about.
But I still noticed that you and Shannon didn't answer the question.
What question is it that you want us to answer, sir? What question?
What would you rather?
I did answer that question. I said I would rather somebody be transparent the same way I am with them and tell me the truth. I don't need you to sugarcoat stuff and tell me what you think is gonna make me feel good. I need you to tell me the truth.
All right. Oh, okay.
Because I do the same thing.
Okay. You weren't listening to understand, sir.
Right. You really weren't.
It's the condition.
Which would you rather, Trent?
The three of y'all can say that right now on the panel.
Oh, he said he'd rather hear. Well, he wants the truth too. He wants to hear the truth. He don't want you to.
But y'all already know it. Everybody here with me knows.
You said that earlier.
Yeah, everybody knows that. Tell me the truth. Don't lie to me, because I'm not interested in it. I already know who I am. I already know I'm a whole snap. I already know all that stuff.
Oh, dear God in heaven, help us all. So was that ego or is that confidence, Coach D? What part is that?
That was arrogance.
I asked Coach D. I didn't ask you. See, you even answer when your name is not even being called.
Stop strapping on shoes.
Right. Right, Cinderella. That's not the slipper that fits you.
Oh Lordy. Arrogance. No two ways about it.
But I got to be honest with you guys though. Like when I get, like with got the message from the viewer out of New York. I was like, wow, but a lot of people, don't know me like you guys know me. So sometimes I say something, and like I was telling Paul this. I say sometimes I say things and it looks like they're ignoring me because they know I'm saying some crazy shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They know me like that. Like really, they know.
Unfortunately.
Oh, I'll text them. I'm like, you're on some nonsense tonight. What's
Exactly.
wrong with you?
I appreciate you, Dee, and I didn't realize it at first, but also you too, Shann, for holding him accountable, because Trent, that's a reason probably why we would not make it as a couple, because I would not hold you accountable for the stuff that you say.
What would you do? What do you mean by that?
That
Well,
was getting
remember when I
interesting.
told you we went for coffee and I was like, are you okay? Are you all right? You okay? Like, I am really that person who overcompensate for anybody like that's around me or whatever. I'm just like, I just want to make sure they're good. In fact, one of my girlfriends even told me, stop asking. She didn't say stop. She said, stop effing asking me every single 5 minutes. Am I okay? Am I okay?
That's pretty much what I told you. Yeah.
You did, and you did, and the people, we was walking out the store, and the people had stopped the traffic, and it was a lot going on, and I was like, "You all right? Because you're walking slow." And he was like,
every 3 seconds,
"Bitch, if you don't shut up."
Why Shannon trying to trip me?
That was very nice to you, because when I first met you, remember, you were not as mobile as you are now, right? So you were still like, if you go out, you were still sitting in the carts all the time, driving around, all this stuff, but I still let you be.
That's true. Shannon, she used to thank you for helping me with my Trader Joe bags and all that stuff. So while still trying to trip me, I appreciate you.
Oh yeah, when you get off on them tangents and you want to start that little mafia king madness stuff, I'd be like, dude,
No, but
all I gotta
Ursula,
do is put a leg out. All I gotta do is just put one leg out.
Every 2 steps, I can't even get in Starbucks. Oh, wait a minute. Can you walk over that door ledge? I'm like, you see how small this shit is? I can get over there.
But believe it or not, I'm like that with my son when we go out to eat. You like your grits? I just can't help it. That's who I am. That is who I am. Cool. I'm trying to get better, but I'm 52. I don't know if there's a better. I don't know. I don't know. It's just who I am. It's who I am.
Coach Dee, hold on. Coach Dee, what do you have to say?
I said it's very codependent to be trying to be constantly managing other people's experiences.
Okay, so Mark said, "Hey, Mr. Epic, don't be out here like it's Halloween. You gotta ration out the snacks nowadays. Like Darius Love Hall said in Love Jones, it's about the possibilities."
Listen, that's the man who won't go to 3 different places to pick something up for a date. So whatever.
D, why we bringing up old stuff?
It's not really that old because it happened. That's why she's saying it.
We want to talk about Mr. Low Effort, and he wants to bring out these nuggets, and we'll bring it up. It is what it is.
I like that, Mr. Low Effort. Okay.
I saw the nonsense.
I'm gonna use that too. Low effort. Low effort.
At least the good brother was honest. You posed the question, and he said he wasn't making all them stops before he get to you.
And again, that's why they be in the position they in.
The conversation about men who are low effort, don't go out and admit that you are. Like,
right. It's kind of like that thing where it's like, let someone think that you're stupid rather than open your mouth and remove all doubt.
My brother was being very transparent. I could appreciate his transparency. He said, "Hey, listen, I'm not gonna stop at all these different stores. Make it one store, and I'm gonna get to you."
Oh well, then you'll get a low effort, low energy chick at the end of the day.
Yeah,
he was being honest.
So he says, "Hell to the nah. Stops are for." He says, "Stops are for queens."
You're not gonna get a queen that way, though.
Isn't that funny? That's
queens know their worth.
Well, this has been a most interesting show. Yes,
it's already 8. Oh my god,
it's 8:50. Well, 7:59 for you, but 8:59 for me.
Yeah. We haven't done a podcast in about 2 weeks. With everything that was going on.
But we're having fun.
Yeah, I needed a good laugh tonight. It's been a rough past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm sorry about all y'all lost with the pup, with the pet, the kitten, and the dog, and
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
that's
Ladies and gentlemen, Kobe's fans. So Ursula's not talking about that dog. So Kobe's back there as usual being lazy. So Kobe's okay. He's okay.
yeah. Okay.
You know, Kobe has his own
dog. He can be lazy when he's not working, sir.
you know, Kobe has his own personal fans here.
You leave that dog alone. You got a job.
He's sleeping. Yeah. No, that's good stuff, man. Real good stuff, man. As always, we really appreciate you guys for actually being patient with us with these live shows, and always a good time with the ladies with the spicy gumbo talk and transparent Earths and all of that other stuff. So good stuff, man. Real
Yeah,
good
I was
stuff.
really vulnerable tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, that was good.
Love it. So what do you guys want to talk about next week?
I think, and I'm just throwing this because I thought, and I was very fascinated when you brought it up on one of our other shows, I think a month or so ago, about the different styles. You talked about avoidance and the other stuff. So I think it'd be great if we could dive more into that in one of our future shows.
What's that? What is
the
it?
relationship styles again? Go over the relationship styles.
Yeah. Kind of dive more into that.
Yeah.
To help some folks.
Shoot me a text. I'll write it up.
I love y'all, and you know how I feel about you, Trent. I love you.
Oh, good. I love you too.
I do.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I really appreciate that.
I think
Good
he's
Like a
the
hangnail
best of
sometimes.
buds. The best of buds.
Yeah, because shut up, Shannon.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I'm straight faced now.
No, I'm still single. So for the ladies out there, I'm actually.
That's not what we heard from Ursula saying all the stuff that was blowing up on your phone the other week.
Let me tell you.
I always put my business in the street.
Let me tell you something.
It's not warranted. Go ahead.
Let me tell you
You
something.
said you had a girl not too long ago.
What'd you say?
You said there was a lady not too long ago. Don't make me go back and look at the video.
Why are we bringing up
Coach Dee, go.
Why are we bringing up old stuff?
It was like old stuff. It was like a month.
Was that the crazy one? Was that the little psycho one?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but we won't discuss that here.
Let's I'm gonna use one of Earth's favorite words. I get bored. And it's not.
Sir.
It's nothing, not a knock on anyone, but I get bored sometimes. I really do get bored sometimes. I'd rather Kobe and myself here. Sometimes
I get bored.
Maybe you need to learn how to use the block feature on your phone. I'm just saying.
Lord,
Oh man.
I wanted to say something, but this is so much. This is being fired. This is a lot.
I got to put up with. The shit I got to put up with.
Shots.
The shit I got to put up with.
Oh, I know what I was gonna say. I was gonna say this. This is important and significant. That's why, in my opinion, you meet people all the time. I mean, I meet people all the time. I live out loud. So I'm always talking to people at the supermarket line and everything. Oh, I love people. I generally love engaging with people. I don't sleep with people. I really believe you have to put people in a friend zone for as long as you can keep them there. And sometimes some people are never supposed to come out that zone, and they make the best of friends. I always like to refer to one of my oldest guy friends. His name is Donald. Donald and I are like, his name is Donald. He lives in the East. We jumped off as friends, and we talk sometimes. We used to, when we first met, we talked for hours on the phone, had a lot in common, never crossed the line. And today he is like a really good friend. We could talk about everything. And let me tell you, he took a shit on that relationship too, that 14-year one. He did.
Man.
He did it with character and not for his own, interest. He was just like, you deserve better.
Looks like Dee got she's gonna have a viral thing going on here. Someone's saying low effort, love it.
Mr. Low Effort. That'd be my 2025 saying.
We need to have a show about low effort men. Yes.
Let's do it next week.
Hold on a second now. They got some low effort women too. Now knock it off.
That's not what we're talking about right now. We'll start with the men.
You're not low maintenance, you're low effort. You're
Right.
not low maintenance, he low effort.
No, or for us, you're not high maintenance, he's low effort.
Yeah,
That's right. He's just not that into you.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you heard me say,
There's your title. Shan just said it. You're
Even
not
when-
high maintenance, he's low effort.
Right.
even when me and my husband, he was clear that we wasn't gonna be together. That boy went bought me a Florida Lee watch. And you know what's crazy? I think I went on a date. He bought a hat. It's a white cowgirl hat. I was on a date with the white cowgirl hat. Totally different person. Sporting that boy shit.
So I will go back, Ursula, and just on that comment alone, you just validated what Coach Dee's assessment of that relationship style was. There was something going where he had some kind of codependency stuff going on too.
Yeah, he
Where you gonna go buy something for her to go wear out on a date with somebody else?
He ain't know. He ain't know. He was
man.
like, he fought to the day that I left. When I moved,
Not on my block and not in my atmosphere. That would never happen with me.
Okay.
Man,
But Ursula just put that good on him, and he didn't want to leave.
Lord have mercy. So what's the topic for next week, y'all?
I like that. You're not high
high
maintenance.
maintenance, he's low effort.
I like that. Yes.
Hmm.
So let's talk about it.
We'll see.
Mark, you should come on the show.
Yeah, Mark.
Mark ain't ready for the three of us. He really not.
Whoa, he hasn't been. Well, I mean, I don't know, but he came on a couple of times previously.
He did.
Yeah.
He ready for us. He gonna be
He's
just
never been on when I've been on.
Oh, he hasn't. Oh, okay.
He's scared. Mark's
Okay.
scared. You scared, Mark?
He gonna freeze up like Marcus.
Oh,
Marcus did good.
I'm sorry, Marcus. Marcus is like, damn, I'm here.
Yeah, because gentlemen, be ready to.
I'm not gonna say why Marcus froze up.
I know why Marcus froze up.
Shannon was up close and personal right there on the screen.
what?
All right, folks. You guys have a good night. We truly appreciate you right here on the conversation with Trent Friends.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
The block feature works miracles on your phone. Keeps the crazies out. Every now and then I just what I put a post on. Every now and then I go to my block list just to check on my prisoners.
And you know what? She's not lying about it. Let me tell you something.
wait, what you gonna say?
I'm about to say something. So, as you guys know, I have two lines, one for the publishing, one for my personal. So one day I was having trouble with one phone before I consolidated both numbers into one phone. And I'm like, let me call this girl and see if this other number's working. And I mistakenly called her from the publishing company line. And it was going straight to a block. So once I got the other number linked into the phone, I called her from the line that's not blocked. I said, dude, you done blocked me again? For what? What did I say? What did I say on the podcast? What did I say? Like, I used to get blocked for nothing. And it was something I just said the week before or something. I'm like, why would you block that number? And I never called you from that number. But I don't know. I have no idea.
That means I don't want no contact with you.
That's right. That's
Drain
right.
it. You drain it.
Boundaries.
You drain it.
Apparently, she still wanted contact because I was able to call from the main line.
You didn't need to contact me from both lines. One was sufficient. You had just got off the block list for that line, so you good.
She was saying I want minimal contact.
Right.
Hey, let me tell you something. There's always a bat line with Trent. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck.
I mean, that's
Always
with you.
got
That
that
ain't with
line.
me. I don't put the bat signal
I
up.
call in. Anywho, let's stop before I go.
All right.
Before I go all overboard here. But
I
nah,
like
good stuff.
the low effort topic.
So what's the topic again, so I can write it up?
You're not high maintenance, he's low effort.
Okay.
Inspired by DJ
Name
Slash.
slash.
Yeah, a DJ name Slash. That's right.
You ladies
Thank you, sir, for that topic. Come and represent your tribe.
You ladies are a trip. Well, we truly appreciate it, man. We truly appreciate it. Make sure you tell the gentleman, My condolences for Monty. If you haven't already told him. So just tell him it gets better. Tell him it gets better.
I read him all the notes for everybody sent to him.
Oh, that's so sweet. Good.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good
And
stuff.
Some of my friends who have Maine Coons called him too. So
good stuff, man. Real good stuff.
He has an excellent support system. He's good.
And as you guys know, you could always catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Kennedie TV, YouTube TV, all that good stuff. You can catch us. Conversation with Trent and Friends, streaming 24/7, 365. And other regions as well, man. Over in France, Germany, I think it's 175 different regions. You can actually catch us. And actually, twice a month, I'm with Coach Catherine Ghetto. We haven't done a podcast the last couple of Thursdays because of the frozen shoulder, but we're back. The following Thursday, we'll be back. We'll be talking about breast cancer, directly going toward speaking on Black women and breast cancer, the importance of it.
That should be good.
So it's gonna be a good one. That's over there with in France and Africa and all that good stuff. Catherine over in France, and she'll be speaking on that. She has a personal story she's gonna share with you guys. So good stuff. Be sure to tune in. Good stuff. Closing remarks, ladies.
I don't have anything for this week. Mark said that he said, "Hey, Mr. Epic, from block to back on the block, when he behaves." Yes. But no, I don't have any closing remarks. Except have a great week, everyone.
Hey, baby, I'm always on the block, though, brother. Always on the block.
Yeah.
Guys, Dee.
Thank you all for listening to our listeners in Syria. May peace be with you with your transition. I hope everything goes well. It will be rough, but I hope everything goes well with them over there. They're fighting hard. So
yeah, good stuff. Hey, he got asylum from the guy in Russia.
Oh. Surprise, surprise. Who was shocked by that?
Urs?
Well, to all our listeners, thank y'all. You get the link from one of us. Please share it with your audience. Like the show tonight. Please like and subscribe to Conversations with Trent and Friends, please.
Exactly. And for the Apple users, $1.99 each month for unlimited GuMbOTALk. The first 3 days, I think, is free. After that, $1.99. So subscribe. Take us with you in your pockets, your iPads, all the good stuff. Spotify is actually free, all the good stuff. But Kennedie TV and Apple, you'd have to be subscribed. So good stuff. Real good stuff. We truly appreciate you guys. And we'll definitely talk with the shady topic on next Sunday. I'll be back, frozen shoulder and all, so the ladies can handle that. But I'll definitely be back. And Mark, I'm going to represent for you. Trust me, brother. I'm not going to let him get you like that. So I'll definitely be back.
Join Trent and Friends. Mark, it'll be nice to see your face.
So that's an invite? Y'all inviting him over?
Yes, he's
invited.
Yeah.
He's invited.
Yeah, we would love to hear what he has to say about you're not high maintenance. He's just low.
Yeah. Him and his low effort tribe.
Well, at least we'll know, like if Slash come on, at least we'll know that all mics will be checked. Until next week.
Yeah.
Until next week, we'll talk to you guys. We'll see you guys on the other side of Sunday. You guys be happy.
All right. Happy holidays,
everybody.
Bye.
Conversations with Trent in conjunction with Taylor Kennedy Media and your radio network would like to thank you for calling in and listening to tonight's episode. We hope that tonight's conversation offended you just enough to turn your mirror inward to come back for more. So until next week's conversation, be epic.